Welcome back. Well, a new frontier is opening up, and it's not across an ocean. It's actually above us. The race to space is accelerating, and experts say it could transform every industry. Futurist and author Elizabeth Varghese is here to talk about her book, Stellar Singularity, and why the future of business may be written in the stars. Happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Tell us a bit about your book. It's very timely right now, of course, with the Artemis II mission that just happened. A lot of people have space on the mind.
So true. So my book, Stellar Singularity, is really about the spacefaring economy. And think of it this way, right? We've always thought of space as something out there, separate than us. And I think we're at a point now where space is really integrating itself into business and society and what we do. It's very similar to kind of like how the internet economy used to be. It was something niche that some people used, some businesses used, and then we're finding everyone depends on it. Every business is being transformed by it. So the space economy is similar in some ways that, like the internet economy, it's also going to change the things we do, the things we consider. And then, when you think about just humanity, right, for millennia, we've always looked into the skies and said, well, what's out there? Like, how do we make meaning of this? How do we fit in? So we now actually have the technology to answer those questions, to physically go out into space. So it's a very interesting time, and I'm looking forward to what we learn about how the economy will be transformed as we use more space technology.
Yeah, it is fascinating. And you say that in the future, every company will be considered a space company. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. I mean, the truth is that every company actually is probably a space company already. They're just not as conscious of it, right? And similarly, most individuals are also space consumers. They're not thinking about it. So I have a very simple test, right? A three-question test. If you as a company do use satellite data or for GPS or streaming, right? So that's question number one. The second question is, have you ever benefited from some of the innovations that were developed for space, like MRIs or AI or power tools, foam mattresses, freeze-dried food, right? That's another question. As a company, have you ever relied on global supply chains or networks? Now, if your answer to any of these things is a yes, you are a space company, you're using space infrastructure. And similarly, if you're as a consumer, you're a space consumer because you're using some of these things and benefiting from it.
That is so interesting. So if business leaders checked yes to any of those questions, what should they be thinking about? How should they be preparing now?
So there's lots of, it's a pretty complex landscape, right? Because there's so much happening in the space economy, in space tech. There are really 4 lessons I would say business leaders should take away. The first is that they really need to have mission clarity, right? And these lessons also kind of translate into life, right? So what's most important? Mission clarity. The second thing is interdisciplinary knowledge and focus. You can't be just siloed. So you have to build cross-functional teams that can work together. The third thing is that you have to be able to operate in uncertainty. So you have to iterate rapidly as a business. You have to change path. You have to be responsive. And the fourth is that you really have to failure-proof yourselves. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't fail, but it means that you're resilient and you're constantly thinking about what is it that you can do to recover from setbacks, which are inevitable in space and in the economy and in life.
Yeah, great advice. Now, before we go, so I want to mention your book is available on Amazon right now. What do you want people who pick up your book to take away at the end of it?
So, the time we're in, it's a very interesting inflection point, very complex. We are learning more about the universe and space and what's out there in our planetary system, within our own Earth itself, and in space beyond. So I formulated these 10 principles of stellar singularity to help us really think about, how do we navigate all of this complexity? How do we stay true to ourselves? So I won't mention all 10 of them, but I'll distill them into 3 things. The first is that space is really part of our canvas, whether we know it or not. It's part of who we are. It's, we are in it, right? That's important to keep in mind. The second part of it is that, we should be designing for interdependence because everything is connected. We're all connected. So no matter what we design in our business or technology has to account for this connection. And the third part of it is that we need to really build whatever we're building in, whether it's in society or law or business applications, they have to be built for human flourishing. Because our goal really is to, help humanity do better, be more
Right.
effective.
Yeah, that is really wonderful. So Stellar Singularity, Navigating the Spacefaring Economy. It is available on Amazon for all of you guys at home. If you would like to learn more, you can also visit elizabethvarghese.com. Elizabeth, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.